Greetings and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Neverwinter Nights with the Paladin, welcome Maestro Erikson, ready to do some more adventuring despite his narrator suffering, well, recovering rather from a cold. Expect a few more blasts of coughing while my lungs are trying to get less annoyed, irritated rather. Alright, let's hope there's not too much talking going on this episode.
It is good to see you again. At times I worry that you have taken on too much responsibility yourself, yet always you surprise me with your resourcefulness and success.
Why, thank you.
Have you yet discovered any new information on the cult?
Well, no, but Aaron mentioned that you have been very short of temper.
I am angry. I have been thinking more and more of how Panther met his end, and how I did nothing to stop it, and I grow even more angry.
I can see that. Have you considered a therapist?
Panther devoted his entire life to the service of justice and the performance of his duty, just as I have. And what did he get for it?
Well, the short end of the scales, I wager.
Discarded. Discarded by his liege lord to appease the witless masses. Discarded by his god for one foolish mistake. Tell me why I shouldn't be angry.
Well, and what should have happened, do you think?
What should have happened? Perhaps he should have received some recognition of his long service and his good intentions. Or perhaps he should have been less trusting and more selfish. And so Panther got his final reward. Thank you, Tyr, Lord of Justice, for aiding your faithful servant. Shall I be next, then?
That's kind of crass to say about the person you serve.
Shall I, too, end my life a traitor? Executed for being too adhered to my duty to question injustice when I see it? Will Tyr abandon me then, too?
What brought this on all of a sudden?
I don't know. Tyr brought me here, put me on this path. I want to know why. Why teach me true justice and then throw it in my face?
As a test?
All I know is that I am tired of being sad. I am tired of feeling helpless. I feel guilty for questioning myself, but I feel I must be questioned.
Well, that's generally not a very good idea for people of very strong devotion.
Vengeance is not Tyr's way, but I fear I see no justice being done here. There is no justice to be had for Panther, only vengeance, and I cannot do it.
Yeah, well...
Perhaps it is just the dreams. They continue to come and get worse each night. I hear voices crying out. So many voices.
The dreams have gotten worse?
I see Panther killed before me over and over. I hear laughter, and so many crying out to me for help. I almost cannot bear it. Promise me as my dearest friend, that you will find this cult and visit upon them the vengeance that I cannot.
It's kind of a dilemma here, because I'm a paladin too, and I cannot make vengeance part of my cause. And if I promise to do it for you, by my lawful nature, I am bound by that. I promise.
Thank you, my friend. It is all I can think of to silence the dreams. I must do something, and to have you help me brings me great relief. You have been a fine friend. Here, take this. It is a ring that belonged to my father. I want you to have it.
Yeah, well, everybody wants to give me rings. Solomon, Tommy, now you. Can't any of you have just been granted some coins or something?
Let it symbolize our friendship. Perhaps if something were to happen to me, it would remind you of me in days to come.
What do you mean?
I don't mean anything, my friend. It is simply fatigue and worry that make me speak such. Please, take the ring.
Very well. I will take it.
That makes me glad. You do me a great honor by carrying it. Let us speak more later. Go, find where the heart of this cult resides, and return to me. I wish you luck with all my heart.
Very good then. Get that gunk out of there already. Aaron, you have anything to say?
The gods smile on us that you remain yet unharmed for your efforts. With luck, success shall soon follow.
Now let's talk about something else.
What would you have of me?
You had mentioned someone named Callie.
I did. That I mentioned her at all was by accident, my friend. I have been determined to avoid those memories for many years now.
Jedi hand wave. Why? What happened?
I suppose one cannot leave the story unfinished. As you wish then, my friend. Callie is short for Caliara. She was of elven blood, a woman of extraordinary beauty and adventuresome spirit. She ran the Guild of Thieves in Neverwinter, you see, when I first began my sentence. She was also the first task Lord Nasher set me to. I was to see to her capture, and to reduce the power of the Guild in the city. And I was eager enough to do so, though I did not know what I was up against.
Sounds like one of those impossible romances.
You joke, although you should know it was no romance at first. Caliara and I were the most dire of enemies, and she stirred her entire guild against me. The thieves had been used to holding power in the city, and did not care to be dislodged. I used every trick I knew to no avail.
I see.
Finally, I chose to disguise myself and infiltrate her guild, determined to look upon my foe and end her life personally. It took me a great deal of time to do so. Caliara trusted few, and I had to work my way up in the ranks over time, until I was able to enter her inner circle.
So you captured her then?
No, not at all. I killed her.
You killed her?
I should have done it sooner, when I was first trusted enough to be alone in her presence. But I was too intrigued and foolish. She enthralled me. I found her soul so similar to my own, and we drew together immediately. Despite my misgivings, I gave in and allowed myself to love her. I knew it would not last. I discovered her plan to kill Lord Nasher, and knew that the time had come to tell her who I was. It was my hope to dissuade her from her life.
Well, that kind of gone over well. How did she react?
She was not angry, as I thought she would be. Merely disappointed, perhaps, as she drew her sword. To strike her down was almost unthinkable. As we parried, I begged her to reconsider, to leave her life, to stay with me, and I would protect her from Lord Nasher's wrath. I will not change for you, Aaron, even as you would not change for me. Let it end here. Though tears blurred my eyes, upon those words I ran her through. She died moments later, as we exchanged one final kiss.
Why did you do it?
She would not leave, my friend, nor stop her plans. It was not in her to do so, just as I would not have, were our roles reversed. And I could not let her succeed. Though it broke my heart, my path was clear and fated to be. I must accept that. Can you understand, my friend, even if you do not agree?
Actually, I agree with what you did. And I'm sorry.
Thank you. I have never told another that tale. There are few that I would call friend. I would be pleased to name you amongst them.
But of course, Aaron. Being a friend to the Spy Master of Neverwinter will grant me a great deal of power and access. I will gladly be your friend.
Perhaps in time I might come to hear your tale. For now, however, there is much to do.
Indeed, I will be going.
I shall await your return then. Be safe and Godspeed.
Alright, enough dilly-dallying. Let's get going. I believe I left off and with some trolls to slay. And we transport back, I think. Yeah. Alright, let's get going. To help some archaeologists. You, ogre. Effortless.
Okay, dokie.
Yeah.
It's done.
Two-bladed sword and some gauntlets. Ooh. Negative. Trap kit. There's nothing else much here to loot. Alright, let's move on then. So many quests to go. I'm sure these will all be settled quite quickly. Ooh, troll.
I love this part!
Yeah. Ooh, that's a slightly tougher one. What am I looking for? Right. Defensive casting mode, please. Oh, never mind. Just in case I needed to summon some extra strength. Though admittedly that's not really necessary for these enemies. Yeah, these trolls are not really worth the hassle. You know, I might look into some perks that will speed up my spell casting, but there's so very few available for paladins. I mean, most of the good ones you can only get if you have up to level 9 spellcasting. So that's just something I'm not going to be able to reach with a paladin, because paladins can't go above level 6 spellcasting. Or level 6 spells, at least. Which is something you need to keep in mind, of course, when you build your own sets, but that's never actually explained in-game. Alright, that bag is full apparently. So it is. And just start using stuff again. Or upgrade some of the medium potions into Tommy potions. Alright, that's probably trapped.
Okay, dokie.
I believe his priority is always to take off the traps first.
It's done.
Yep.
Okay, dokie. It's done.
Well, let's keep going. So this was what they found with all the archaeologists. Seems kinda haphazard placing of the chests, unless of course the trolls have been lugging them around, but why would they do that?
Still, so
More ogres. Not particularly dangerous ogres either. Is that all? Alright, back to the chest. Ooh. More gems.
It's done.
Yeah. Nothing to loot over here. This chest is crate is open. There's a pile of skulls over here, and there's another fella over there, but he's not dangerous.
Ha! Ha! A most helpable.
Janice. I think we were sent to look for her. She can wait then. We've got a corpse over here with a neutralized poison spells. A scroll. Alright. Janice. This elderly fable is surrounded by some sort of glowing energy field.
Greetings!
Yeah? You look like a pretty boy. What are you doing here? You're Effort's mama, right? I'm here to rescue you. My name's Janice. I hope you can learn that better than me, boy. Since I'm here to rescue you, you might want to be more polite. You haven't saved me yet. I'll thank you when you have. Not too bright, are you? I just hope you have more manners than those slobbering trolls. So why didn't they kill you or eat you? Why don't I just tell you the whole story? It's easier to explain that way. You see, I am a mage of no small accomplishment, but I am also fascinated by archaeology. I was with a troop of archaeologists, and we were exploring these caves. I became interested in an unusual pattern on the cave walls, and accidentally became separated from the others. Then I heard the screams. So what did you do? Don't interrupt. No respect for your elders, that's the problem with your generation. By the time I got back to where they were, everyone had either been killed or had fled. I was very concerned for my son Ravat. He's a little slow of mind. In a quick glimpse I noticed that his body wasn't on the ground. Then the largest troll I've ever seen came back into the cave. He seemed surprised to see me, which was all that saved me. He started to hoot and shout to the others, then came bounding across the floor. I began to cast a spell, but the sight of the blood on his claws caused me to slip in the incantation. I had meant to encase him in an Otelux Resilient Sphere, a very rare but useful spell. So what happened? The spell sucked back on me and trapped me into a form-fitting, impenetrable force field. I couldn't move, but the trolls couldn't hurt me either. They were so impressed, I think they thought I was a goddess. A goddess? Why do you think that? There's enough room in this shell for me to talk. When I could talk, but they couldn't hurt me, they started bowing down and bringing me gifts. Not that I could accept them, but I brought them anyway. I see you have the ring from Ravat. If you would just touch me with the ring, it should negate the spell. How will it do that? The ring has a one-time cancellation spell on it. I created it to protect Ravat from spellcasters who might seek to harm me by harming my child. Alright, here's the ring. Oh, thank you, that feels better. Well, what are you standing around for? Wasting time for? Don't you have other things you should be doing? The way back is clear of trolls. Find your own way out. What do you think I am, senile? Of course I know the way is clear. I can make it back on my own, and I don't need you to tell me so. Well, good riddance then. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.